I haven't seen a car in 50 miles.
You know what I just thought of, right?
Kenny and Darla.
You believe that story?
That they had to go looking for her head.
They only found the car.
They never found her head.
What's he doing?
The hell is that? He dumped something down that pipe.
Wrapped in a sheet.
Is this your idea of a little adventure?
I'm just gonna look.
Hello?
You know the part in scary movies where somebody does something really stupid and everybody hates them for it? This is it.
Every 23rd spring, for 23 days, he gets to eat.
Eat.
What the hell is that thing?
It's stuck in reverse! He must have 5, maybe 600 bodies down there.
You've got something it likes, one of you.
You think he's dead?
They never are.
Jeepers Creepers.
Welcome to the latest episode of the B Movie Club. I'm your host Kevin. This week we'll be discussing the 2001 horror classic Jeepers Creepers starring Justin Long and Ellen Burstyn. It's an all-star cast. For those of you joining us for the first time, each week on the B Movie Club, I discuss certain guilty pleasures and forgotten classics of the past. Don't forget to go to our page on Facebook, Original B Movie Club, and give us the thumbs up. Also go to our page on YouTube, KD9575, that's me. Don't forget to subscribe, it's totally free. And of course, follow me on Twitter at the B Movie Club. Spread the word, won't you? The more the merrier, I always say. Okay? Jeepers Creepers. In this movie, Derry and Trish are heading home for spring break, and they're driving through the countryside, deliberately taking the long way home because there's some kind of issue. Gina just broke up with her boyfriend, and her folks are kind of upset, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they're driving along, but they notice something. A strange truck comes up behind them and kind of tailgates them, honking horns at them, doing all this stuff. It has a weird license plate. It's Beating You. B-E-A-T-N-G-U, or so they think. It doesn't stand for beating you, it stands for maybe something else. So eventually they lose the tailgating guy, but not before they drive by, and they pass a church, and there they see the evil truck that they just ditched out front, and a tall figure wearing like a giant trench coat and like a hat, throwing what appears to be bodies down this like giant sewer pipe, boom, next to the abandoned church. So they slow down, they're like, what's that all about? And of course, at that moment, the guy with the bodies in the truck turns around and makes eye contact with them. So now he's back chasing them. They managed to lose him again, miraculously. But now they're concerned, we need to go back, maybe there's people alive, we have to rescue them. Bad move, it seems like. So they go back. Derry, the brother, climbs down the pipe, slides down there, and they are in fact bodies, and they have like these stitch marks on them. One of them kind of wakes up a little bit. So he walks around the underground lair, and he sees that there are all these bodies that are basically like stuck to the walls and ceilings. They've been kind of mannequinized, I guess. They're like covered in some kind of plastic. They have like stitch marks on them. So he's very concerned. So he runs back, finds the sister. They jump in the car. They're like, we got to go tell the police. So they find a local diner. Nobody knows what they're talking about. They call the police. They're like, okay, we'll go check that out. Oh no, there's been a fire. The church is burned down. Evidently the lair is destroyed. Everything's just, all the evidence has been destroyed. It's very sad. So they're driving with the cops to the station, who are kind of incredulous. They're not too sure what's going on. When the creature, the man in the trench coat and the hat, jumps up on top of the police car, kills the two cops, battles, causes a car accident, and we see him, he's got like a big old axe, chops one person's head off, and he's like eating the people. What we discover is that beating you could be translated as be eating you. Uh-oh, look out! So, I don't want to spoil everything, I don't want to give it all away, but eventually what we discover is that this is not just some dude in a trench coat and a hat. He's kind of this gargoyle creature. Okay, he's got big old bat wings and he's green looking. And what we discover is for 23 days, every 23 years in the spring, the creeper comes out. Okay? And basically to replenish his body, I guess it begins to fall apart or whatever, he eats certain parts of people. Okay, to replace those parts on himself. Okay, I know it's all very complicated. So it's like he borrows the eyes of somebody. I guess he doesn't borrow them. He's not giving them back. He takes the eyes of somebody to replace his own eyes that are kind of falling apart, and so on and so forth. It's all very complicated. Okay, so it's hard to kill him because if you hurt him in some way, he'll find somebody and eat them up, and then okay, now I'm feeling better now. I guess is what's going on. Okay. This was actually Justin Long's first horror movie. You remember Justin Long? He was in such things as Dodgeball, that TV show Ed. He's a very famous guy at this stage of the game. Okay, Ellen Burstyn is in this very briefly. She plays like an old crazy Catwoman who they run to for help before the creeper shows up and takes care of her. Why is it called Jeepers Creepers? I don't know. At one point, there's like it happens to come on the radio. Okay, he evidently, okay, the plot's very convoluted because early on it seems like it's kind of your standard scary slasher type guy. There's a maniac on the loose who's grabbing people and stitching them up and putting them in his like wall of, I don't know what that is, wall of mannequins, I guess. So it seems like it's that. Then later they say, oh no, he's a creature, he's the creeper, who does this thing where, his eyes start going bad, he'll steal your eyes. His heart gets bad, he'll eat your heart and steal it, kind of thing. Okay, fine. Later in the movie, he's just kind of flapping around, and he's just attacking people willy-nilly. It's all very complicated, and there's no explanation as to if he's just eating people on the street, why is he stitching some people up, and why is there like this art project in his House of Pain? I don't understand it. I can't explain it. I don't know what the story is. Critics all gave it very, very mixed reviews when this came out. They said it starts off, and I tend to agree, it starts off really strongly, okay? It really kind of just sets the stage for this creepy guy with a creepy truck, grabbing people, abducting people while this young couple, actually brother and sister, are rushing home. And then about 3/4 of the way through, it becomes like, okay, well, he's not just a dude. He's a gargoyle-looking dude with bat wings. And there's no explanation as to why he's stitching people up. That's basically forgotten. It just becomes kind of, they felt it was much more rote by the numbers, and it doesn't really follow any steady path that we can ascertain. It's all very complicated. When this movie came out in 2001, it was the biggest opening for any movie on Labor Day forever. Okay, since that time it's been beaten a few times. Most recently by the remake of Halloween. So there you have that. They made a sequel to this movie a couple years later called Jeepers Creepers 2. Hey, where there is a connection. It's like the last day of the 23rd day of the 23rd year, that sort of thing. No mention of the crazy truck. Most of the time he's just flapping around, plucking kids off the ground and flying off with them. So it was all right. It wasn't as good as this one. Right now there's talks of making a Jeepers Creepers 3 and 4, which may or may not go straight to video. What are you going to do? Typically, these movies do not have happy endings. Let me just say that. Like, they're all kind of down. Oh, man, that's a bummer. It didn't work out the way we hoped. Alas, that's what happens in horror movies from time to time. The actor who plays the creeper was actually not allowed to be around Justin Long or Gina Phillips, who plays the sister Trish, when they weren't filming. Like, and they hid the truck from the actors and everything, so that when they actually saw the truck for the first time, actually saw the creeper for the first time, they'd get a more genuine reaction. It's called acting. Okay, act. I'm afraid it's the creeper. That sort of thing. Okay, that's what they're going for here. This movie currently has a 45% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. Like I said, the biggest knock was that it's uneven. It starts out really strong and then kind of crumbles at the end. It's fine. It gets the job done. I mean, I liked it enough. I actually saw this in the theater, shockingly enough. And I think I actually saw the sequel in the theater. So there you go. I enjoy it. It is uneven, but it has a lot of good, spooky moments, okay? And again, it's less of a slasher movie and more of like a monster movie, if you catch it. You know, the slight difference between the two. So, it is still streaming instantly on Netflix, so rush out and see it and let me know what you think. Send any favorite scenes, favorite quotes, comments, and questions, and I may just talk about it on the show. And don't forget to include movie suggestions, okay? Typically, I try to do action adventure, sci-fi, comedy, horror, but I mean, if it's a movie that we've all enjoyed from time to time, I might slip in a Karate Kid in there. You know what I'm saying? I might slip a Footloose in there if you're down. So let me know what you think. And keep those comments coming. Okie dokie. Next week I'm moving away from the horror genre. I'm going to be doing the comedy classic. Jeff Bridges is The Big Lebowski. Check it out. It is streaming instantly on Netflix. Let me know what you think about that one as well. Please, if you send me a comment, I may just talk about it on the show. As you know, I end every episode with a totally out of context quote, and here it is. You know that part in a scary movie where somebody does something really stupid and everybody hates them for it? This is it. Hey! There we go. Good times had by all. Thank you again for joining us. Next week, the classic Big Lebowski. Be well.